Hello, everyone, and welcome into Surf Performance Yoga. My name is Hunter, and today's class is going to be on paddling. So before we get too far into it, just a little heads up, this is a 60-minute class. We're going to be focusing on the exterior, the thoracic extension, shoulder mobility, arm strength, things like that. Go ahead and grab a nice, comfortable seat so that we can get started. And as you're doing that, just a couple of things to mention. There is a music playlist in the email or in the description of the video that was sent out earlier. So if you want to use that, by all means, go for it, or you can use your own music or no music, totally up to you. But yeah, let's grab a nice, comfortable seat. And while you're doing that, begin to focus in on finding an evenness in your breath. So same length inhales, same length exhales. While I talk a little bit more about what this course is about, what this specific class is about. So go ahead and settle down, find that nice, comfortable breath, the evenness in the breath. Like I said before, lots of thoracic extension here today. That's basically 90% of paddling, 90% of your surfing is laying down on the board. So it's super important to get your spine nice and mobile and nice and secure. Also, shoulder mobility. We're going to work on shoulder control, lateral strength, posterior chain endurance. So your entire back line, we're going to be working on endurance for that, and also some core stability. So go ahead, just take a nice seat, find your breath. If you want to get the music set up, now's a good time. I'll give you guys a minute to do that and to sit down and settle into the practice. You can close your eyes can be open. That's up to you. What's important now is just finding a nice even breath and connecting with the body. 60-minute class here, so we do have a lot to get into. And we'll get moving in just a moment here, just waiting for anyone else to come through and also for anyone to set up that playlist. One other thing I'd like to mention before we begin is just to honor your body today. There's lots of progressions in certain yoga asanas that we go through in every class and this class as well. And if your body isn't feeling that next level of that asana, that next variation, just stick with what you were doing before or modify it so that it is working for you. Paddling is a full body movement that's powered by rhythm. And that is why we're really going to focus in on finding that evenness in the breath today, finding that rhythm in the breath. And some of the dynamic yoga postures that we'll be in today will also incorporate that evenness in the breath. Okay, I think we can come to our mats now, getting ready to move. We're going to start today in Sphinx pose. Since this is a paddling class, very important to start with the engagement of your posterior chain. So Sphinx pose, your forearms are parallel to the sides of the mat, hands, palms face down. You're pushing into the hands, pushing into the palms, but you're also pushing into your hips. So you're pushing your pubic bones slightly into the ground, tops of feet slightly into the ground to activate your glute muscles and activate your hamstrings just a little bit so that they support your lower back. If you are warm enough, if you know your body enough and you want to go a little bit further in this, you can go ahead and push into the hands and extend the arms out, or just stay in Sphinx, whatever works for you here today at the beginning of class. Be soft here. This is the very first pose, so we want to make sure that we're not getting too deep just yet before we get the body warm. But staying in Sphinx or Cobra, engaging the legs, engaging the glutes by pushing the hips into the ground, you will Notice that this is actually a lot like surfing. When you're paddling on your surfboard, you will feel this type of movement. You don't really realize it unless you're thinking about it, but you're always kind of pushing into your core, pushing into your hips, and that is where your paddle really starts. It starts in the core, starts in the hips, and as you're extending your arms out and reaching out, the back is supporting the shoulders, and the shoulders are moving the arms. So we need to have the support for that lower back, and that's where your glutes and your hamstrings come in by pushing into the ground softly here. We're going to begin class by just kind of waking up all the joints involved. It's a very soft start before we get into some more movement. And when you're ready, come to tabletop position, hands and knees. We'll begin with a little bit of cat-cow. So cat-cow on an inhale, we're reaching the chest forward, we're reaching the head and the chin up on an inhale, and then exhale, rounding the back, chin comes to chest. And again, inhale, arch the back, look up. And exhale, round the back, chin to chest. See if you can find that evenness in your breath that you were working on just now, just working on building that, and work on finding the evenness in breath and the movement. So breath, inhale, breath, exhale, the same length, and also the movement where you're arching your back and rounding your back, the same length of time. And if you haven't already pressed play on the music, go ahead and do that now. And come to neutral position, so no rounding, no arching, and then just walk the hands out. We'll do a puppy pose here. Just walk the hands out in front. Try to keep the hips above the knees if you can, and just walk the hands out as far as they go. Bring the forehead down to the ground. You're stretching the inner arms out a lot. You're getting a nice length through the armpits, the side of the body here. We'll stay in puppy for a couple of breaths. Again, keep that even breath here. Just beginning to wake up, just beginning to stretch, maybe evening out the body a little bit if you surfed earlier today. This should feel really nice. And on an inhale, come up back to tabletop. We'll do tiger posture. So this is a dynamic moving asana. We're going to start with the right leg. So on an exhale, you're going to bring the knee up and into the chest as you round the back. Bring the knee towards your face, towards your nose, and on an inhale, bring that foot up and back behind you. Keep the knee bent at about a 90-degree here. Exhale, bring that knee forward, round the back. And inhale, foot comes up and back as you arch your posterior chain. So we'll do this, we'll time this, we'll do even on this side, even length of time on the other side. Just keep working with the breath, find that evenness in the breath. And on your next exhale, just bring that knee down. Take a breath. Very next exhale, left leg comes forward, knee to chest, knee to nose. On an exhale. Inhale, bring that foot up and back. Exhale, round the back, knee to nose. Inhale, foot comes back and reaches up as you arch and keep going like that. We'll do same length on this side. Just starting to get some movement into the back line, starting to even things out a little bit. And come back to tabletop. We'll take another puppy pose. So just walk the hands out in front. But this time we're going to bend the elbows. Hands come to prayer behind the head. Head comes to the ground. And you can kind of lean back, getting a nice stretch in the upper arms, the armpits. So very similar to what we were doing before, except now the elbows are on the ground and the hands are at prayer behind your head. And on your next inhale, come back to tabletop. We're going to take what's called bird dog here. So this is starting to get into the stability of the spine, stability of the shoulders. On your next inhale, reach the right leg up and back. And on an exhale, if you can, bring the left arm forward, reaching forward through the fingertips and back through the heel. So left arm is reaching and right leg is reaching. Your right hand remains on the ground and left knee, left foot remains on the ground here. Just hold this. Focus on finding that evenness in your breath. Try not to lose that for the entire class. Again, the shoulders move the arms and the back line supports the shoulders. So this is really starting to activate those things. Starting to warm up the shoulder, starting to warm up that back line. And exhale, come down. On your next exhale, left leg reaches back and right arm reaches forward. So same thing, other side, work on finding the evenness in your breath, same length inhale, same length exhales. And then we'll begin to move. So exhale everything down, come back into child's pose. Just take a breath or two here. Before we start to move, paddling is also a lot about endurance. It's not just about alignment or mobility. It's really about endurance as well. So there is a section here that we're coming up on in the class where we're going to be moving a lot. So if you do need to take a child's pose or if you need to take a break, by all means, honor your body today. On an inhale, come up to seating on your shins. Next, inhale, come up to standing on your knees and shins, hands to your back. And exhale, we'll take a nice little arch here for a couple of breaths, just softly arching the upper back. Now, while you're here, remember what we were doing in our first pose today, Sphinx, or maybe you were doing Cobra, that engagement of the glutes, that pushing down through the hips, the engagement of the hamstrings. That should be apparent here as well. So softly bend back, not deep just yet, still a little early in class, but feel the support in your lower back. As you engage the glutes, you engage the legs. On your next inhale, come to sitting on the shins, bring the hands up, and exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come to tabletop, look up, arch the back. And exhale back into downward facing dog. On your next inhale, reach the left foot forward. We're coming into low lunge, so step it through the hands, drop the back knee, the right knee down, and we'll come up with the arms on an inhale. Exhale, sink into the front leg, and stay here for a breath or two. As we just start to get into the psoas, you're also working on the back line here, getting a nice extension up through the spine. Exhale, hands come to ground, back to downward facing dog. Next inhale, same thing, other side, right foot steps forward in between the hands, left knee comes to the ground. On an inhale, reach the hands up, and exhale, sink into the front leg. And on your next exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Take a couple of breaths here. First downward dog, well, I guess second, but first held downward dog of the session here. So if you need to pedal the feet out or work into the shoulders a little bit, maybe give yourself a little shake, go ahead and do that now. And on your next exhale, jump, step, or just walk up to the front of your mat, feet hips distance apart. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, stay here, clasp the hands, or just let the hands hang towards the ground. Whichever variation you like here today. I like clasped hands, and I also like to switch the clasps maybe after a breath or two. We're going to stay in this forward fold for just a second here. Getting a nice compression in the spine is super important when you're working on paddling, because paddling is all about extension. There's going to be plenty of extension, plenty of posterior chain endurance work here today. So these forward folds are really inserted into the practice here to really just help you get that counter to all the extensions that are going to be here in the class coming up. And on your next inhale, reach the hands up, look up to touch. Hands come to your sides on an exhale. Couple of sun salutations here with locust variations in between. So follow along. Inhale, reach up, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, arch the back. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Stay here for a breath. On your next inhale, bring everything forward into plank. And then exhale, lower down through chaturanga. Bring the chest all the way down to the ground, laying on the stomach. Hands come to your sides. Locust variation 1 is we're going to clasp the hands behind the back, or just keep your hands like airplane out to the side, whichever you're feeling today. If you're clasping, go ahead and clasp now. And on an inhale, reach the hands back towards your feet as the chest comes up. Take a breath or two here. If you feel ready, you can start to engage the feet as well and point them straight back. So feet are lifting, chest is lifting, or just chest is lifting. And on an exhale, come down. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, jump, step, walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up, arch. And exhale, fold forward. Feet come hips distance. This time, we're going to take first two fingers around the big toes. On an inhale, look up, arch the back. And exhale, fold forward. So just another forward fold here. Again, countering all the extensions that we're doing, countering that extension that we just did with the clasped hands in locust pose. And on an inhale, reach the hands up, bring the torso up, look up and touch. Exhale, hands to the sides. Round two. Inhale, hands reach up, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, arch the back, look up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, come forward into plank. And on your exhale, lower the body down, chest comes to ground. Let everything rest on your yoga mat. This time we're going to do a dynamic locust variation. Simulates paddling, not really a paddling drill, but really builds the fundamentals that paddling needs. So it works like dynamically movements with your breath. On an inhale, you reach your right hand and your left foot forward and back. And on an exhale, everything comes down. Inhale, other side, left hand forward, right foot back. And exhale, everything comes down. So keep moving like that. Inhale, right arm, left leg. Exhale. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale. Keep moving like that. See if you can find that evenness in the breath. Your hand is reaching up and forward. Your foot is reaching up and back. So great dynamic variation, really building the fundamentals, cross body coordination, shoulder stability, and again, that posterior chain strength, that posterior chain endurance. Starts from the core, moves into the back, and then into the arms. And next time you're on the first side, I think it was right arm up, left leg back, hold for a couple of breaths. This is like those last three paddle strokes that you're doing. Tend to be pretty tough paddles to get into the waves. So if you can hold something like this for, we're doing about 10, 15 seconds here. Really good for those last couple of paddles, that paddle endurance. So exhale, everything comes down. And on your next inhale, left arm reaches, right foot reaches and hold. Making sure we get both sides. And exhale everything down. On an inhale, low cobra, just arch the back softly here. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Next, exhale, jump, step, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward, shift the feet about hips width distance apart. This time we're going to take the hands and flip them underneath the feet. So palms are facing up, and we're going to stand on the hands, Padahastasana. The toes are in your wrist creases. If you need to bend your knees to do this, you can absolutely do that. On an inhale, look up. And exhale, fold forward. A good cue here that I really like is trying to pull your hands out from underneath your feet. You're trying to pull them out straight in front of your feet. Give yourself a deeper forward fold. And on an inhale, release the hands, reach the arms up, come up to standing and touch. Heel toe the feet together at the front of the mat. Hands come down. One more round of these. Inhale, hands reach up, look up and touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, arch the back. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. On your next inhale, come forward into plank. And on your exhale, lower the body down, stomach to your yoga mat. And this time we're going to take dynamic full locust. So that means your feet and your hands are all raising at the same time. So on an inhale, feet and arms reach. Exhale, bring everything down. Inhale, everything reaches. Exhale, everything down. If you need a slightly easier variation, feel free to just do the legs or just do the arms, whatever you're feeling like today, if you don't want to do both the legs and the arms at this time. Take breaks when you need. And on your next inhale, reach whatever you're reaching. If it's your full body, full arms and legs, go ahead and do that and hold. If you're just doing legs, just reach the legs and hold. If you're just doing arms, reach those and hold. Again, take breaks when you need. Come back into locust 100% when you are working on it. And exhale everything down. Just lay out. Take a nice break here. That's a lot of work. That dynamic locust really fires up the posterior chain, as you can probably figure that out from feeling your own body. Now, coming back to child's pose, if you need to bend your knees in order to do that, I think that's way easier on my lower back. So I like to bend my knees before I come back into a child's pose when I'm coming from laying flat down. So bend the knees, come into child's pose, take a couple of breaths here, just relaxing, getting some rounding into the back. Paddling endurance requires a lot of aerobics, right? We are moving constantly, and sometimes we don't have a choice. Sometimes we got to speed up. Sometimes we got to slow down, depending on where the wave is, right? So there's going to be some movement in these classes as well as the static postures to build that mobility, to build that agility, to build that alignment. So next we're gonna do 3 sun salutation Bs. We're gonna do warrior 1, warrior 2, and then warrior 3. We're gonna do this all in one sequence. So really try to focus on finding that evenness in breath as we go through it. When you're ready, back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, jump, step, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sink the hips. Utkatasana, chair pose. Reach the arms up. And exhale, hands come up. Hands come to the side. Take a breath here. We'll begin our warrior 1, 2, and then 3. Next, inhale, sink the hips, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up. And exhale back to downward facing dog. If you want to go through chaturanga, this is a good time to do that. So go through chaturanga on your exhale. And then inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. On your next inhale, bring the right foot forward, drop the left foot down, come up into warrior 1 on an inhale. Exhale, sink into the front leg. Take a breath here. And exhale, hands come to the ground, back to downward facing dog. Again, if you'd like to go through chaturanga, go for that now. On your next inhale, left foot forward, back foot down. Inhaling, coming up, reach the hands and torso up. Exhale, sink into the front leg. Take a breath here. Inhale, exhale, hands come to the ground through chaturanga or straight to downward facing dog. Inhale, look up. And exhale, jump, step, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, arch the back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, sink the hips, chair pose. Exhale, hands come up, hands come to the sides. 2 more of these. Inhale, sink the hips, hands reach. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, arch the back. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. We're going for warrior 2 here. So next inhale, right foot comes forward, back foot comes down. Reach the left arm up and windmill the hands, come into warrior 2. Take a breath here. And exhale, hands come to the ground. Right foot comes back through chaturanga or straight to downward facing dog. Next inhale, left foot comes forward, back foot drops as you windmill your arms forward and up. Exhale, sink into the front leg. Next exhale, hands come to the ground, back to downward facing dog. Next exhale, jump, step, or walk to the front of the mat. Inhale, look up, arch the back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink the hips, hands reach. And exhale, hands come up, hands touch, and to the side. Take a breath here. We'll do the last warrior 3 variation. Inhale, hands reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look up, arch the back. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Next, inhale, bring the right foot forward, step it right in between your hands. And as you inhale, come up, your hands can stay down, fingertips down. Your hands can come to prayer or out to the sides or even forward. Take a breath here. And exhale, hands come down, back foot goes back. meet in downward facing dog. Next inhale, left foot comes forward, fingertips on the ground. Come up to prayer, hands out to the side or hands forward, whatever you did on the other side for a breath. And exhale, hands come down, feet come down, back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and drop the knees here. Come into child's pose. We'll take a nice little break. Again, giving yourself a nice round in the back. Warrior one, warrior two, warrior three. They all have a nice back extension. So we want to counter that as we go through this practice. Child's pose is great. A lot of movement here. And child's pose kind of breaks that up as well. Now, paddling is really about extension and compression a little bit. The counter to it is compression, but we do, in all my yoga classes at least, like to get into all the directions of the spine. So we will go through a side sequence and a rotating sequence as well, just to make sure that we're getting all those directions of the spine, getting a nice full class here amongst all of the paddling exercises and paddling alignments that we're doing. So come to downward facing dog. On an inhale, bring the right foot forward. We're coming into triangle pose, so drop the back foot, the left foot flat, kind of angled a little bit towards the front of your mat. We're going to come into triangle from this position. So right foot faces forward, left foot is angled slightly forward at the back of the mat. And then on an inhale, hand comes to shin or thigh or foot as the left hand reaches up. So coming into triangle from that low position isn't super common, but I think that having that variability between how you get into it really helps you out with the alignment. It can kind of inform some of the things. And on an exhale, if you'd like to bring your arm forward, bring your arm forward. Just giving yourself a little bit more lateral stretch here. And on an inhale, bring the torso up so we're in a neutral triangle pose here. And exhale, left hand comes down the left leg into reverse triangle. Super important in this pose to really engage that back leg. It's like your whole leg is engaged and you're just kind of folding over it. Nice side stretch through the right side of the body here. And on an inhale, come up to neutral. We're going to transition into half moon here. So if you need to readjust the feet, we're just going to lean out over that right leg, pick the left leg up. Right hand glides down to touching the mat. Left hand comes up. If you'd like to float the right hand, you can do that as well, or keep it down. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. If you'd like to take a bind here and you know how to do that, you can grab the left ankle with the left hand, or just stay in half moon, regular half moon. And exhale, bring that back foot down, widen your stance, coming into side angle, so arms out on an inhale, and exhale, lean over the front leg. The front knee is bent, the right knee, and you're bringing your left arm up and over into side angle. So strong through the feet here. You should be getting a nice stretch through the left psoas, really the whole left side of the body here. On your next exhale, just bring the hands down, come back to downward facing dog. Do the same set of asanas on the other side. Make sure we get nice and balanced here. Don't forget about finding the evenness and breath. If you can find that here, see if you can bring that into the next four asanas. On your next inhale, left foot reaches forward, back heel to the ground, right foot is angled slightly towards the front of the mat, left foot is pointed at the front, and open on an inhale, the right arm up, whole chest, everything opening over to the right. Again, if you'd like to extend the right arm up and over, you can do that for more of a side stretch. Left hand can be on thigh, it can be on shin, ankle, foot, on the ground, wherever your flexibility for that is taking you today. You're pushing down into the left big toe and kind of trying to slide the whole foot back towards your right foot. Nice hamstring stretch here. On an inhale, bring the torso up to neutral. And exhale, left arm comes up and over as the right arm glides down the back leg. Again, here, really strong right leg. And you're just kind of folding over that, just kind of falling over your back leg while that thing remains very strong. Both legs very strong here, back leg fully engaged. And on an inhale, come up into neutral, coming into half moon, just like on the other side. So just reaching the left arm out and forward, or reaching the right leg up and back as you open out to the right. Left hand comes down to touching the ground, right arm up. And if you want to float the left arm, maybe you can't reach the ground, that's totally fine. You can do Ardha Chandrasana half moon, just kind of balancing here, not all the way down. And drop the back foot down, wide stance coming into side angle on the other side. So I like to come into this from warrior two. On an exhale, we're reaching out over the left leg. We're bringing the left forearm to thigh, right arm comes up and over. Strong through the legs here as you open out to the right. And exhale, hands come to the ground, back into downward dog. If you need a child's pose, take child's pose. If you'd like to stay in downward dog, you can stay here. We're going to do the same set of asanas, except the revolving version of those, just to make sure, again, that we're getting all the directions of the spine covered in this class. So when you're ready, back to downward facing dog. Right leg comes forward, back foot comes down. For revolving triangle, I like to have a little bit more space in between my center line. So I'm not really like heel to heel or ankle to ankle. I have kind of my left ankle more towards the left side of the mat, and my right ankle towards the right side of the mat. We're going to keep our left hand down, or if you need to bring it up to your thigh or your shin, that's totally fine. But on an inhale, we're opening over to the right. So twisted triangle pose. Opening the chest to the right, leaning over the right leg. Left hand can be wherever is most comfortable for you. And just take a micro bend in that front knee. Just make sure that you are always kind of bending that in these triangle poses, but take a little bit more of a bend here as we come up into a twisted, revolving half moon. So if you need to get a block to put under your left hand, you can do that, or you can levitate it above, whatever works for you here today. We're just coming up with the left foot and the right arm. So we're still twisting to the right, right foot down, left hand down. If you want to bring your left hand up, you can do that. If left hand needs to be on a block, that's totally fine here as well. And on your next exhale, bring that back foot down, bring the back knee down. We'll do a twisted lunge. So starting off with the back knee down and the left toes untucked, we're kind of in this low lunge. On an inhale, reach the left hand up, and exhale, bring the left upper arm outside the right thigh. Hands can come to prayer here. You can lift the back leg by tucking your left toes and then lifting everything up. You can keep it down, extend the arms out so left hand touches the ground as the right arm reaches up. And you can also extend the leg here. Wherever your body takes you today, honor that. And exhale, hands come to the ground, back to downward facing dog, same set of asanas on the other side. So when you're ready, left foot comes forward, back foot drops. Again, keep a little bit more space in between the ankles on the center line of your mat. And on an inhale, right arm reaches down the left leg wherever it fits, and left arm comes up, rotating out to the left. Paddling really starts in your core here, and having these rotation-based poses is really core thoracic extension as it's also rotating. So really good for paddling as well, as just getting a lot of different types of spinal movement into the practice. So on your next inhale, reach the right hand down, right hand comes down, right foot comes up, left arm stays up as you still rotate over to the left, but now your right leg is lifted and you can lift the right hand as well or put it on a block, whatever works for you today, or really whatever you did on the other side. Try to even that out here. Same length inhale, same length exhale. If that pace has quickened, then you're probably doing this right. So if you have a faster inhale, faster exhale, that's perfectly fine. Just try to make it even. And exhale, everything comes down. Show you this way. Back knee comes down. You're in this low lunge. And we'll take the twisted lunge here. So on an inhale, right arm comes up and over. So upper arm comes to thigh. Hands can come to prayer. They can be out wide. You can bring that back knee up. Whatever you did on the other side, do that here. And exhale, bring everything down, come back to downward facing dog. If you'd like a child's pose here, go ahead and take child's pose as well. Oh, I don't think we're gonna have time to get to side plank today, unfortunately, but we'll get into dolphin. dolphin prep, and also pincha mayurasana here next, just to really engage the back line, build that posterior chain endurance. So when you're ready, we'll go through this in steps. And like I said at the beginning of the class, if there's a particular step that you're not really trying to get to or trying to go past, then just remain on whatever works for you. Personally, I like to have a block here in between my hands because when I go up into dolphin or pincha, my hands tend to come together, and that's not really good for the shoulder alignment. So if you need to get like a book or a block or just something square to put in between your hands, that's super important for maintaining your shoulder alignment as we come up into things like dolphin and pincha. So again, we're going to take this in steps. The first step here is just having the hands down, facing down. The forearms are parallel to the sides of the mat. You're on your hands, you're on your forearms and your knees, and you can just pull the shoulder blades down the back here and let the head hang. So this is a great posture just to start getting the alignment correct in the shoulders and in the arms. If you want to stay here, that's totally fine. Stay here. And if you do come down from what we're going to be doing next, come down into this position. This is kind of your resting position. This is like the child's pose of the dolphin and the pincha mayurasana. So stay here if you'd like. The next step is to come up into dolphin. So we're tucking the toes, lifting the hips up and back as we push the ground away with our forearms. Head just hangs here. You can have a slight arch if you're looking up. Just push the hips up and back as the heels come towards the ground. Again, if you need to come out, just come into what we were doing just before this. Now stay here or come up onto the tiptoes. Walk your feet forward, come up onto the tops of your toes. If you'd like to lift one leg up, you can do that now. Just start with the left or the right leg. And do the other side. Now you can stay there or again, come down when you need. We'll come up into full pincha mayurasana. If you'd like to go over with scorpion and bring your head to your feet, you can also do that. I won't be demonstrating that one today, not quite warm enough, but it's still the same kind of prep. We come up into dolphin, and then we're kicking one leg up. I like to do it on an inhale, coming up into our forearm balance. Pincha mayurasana. And if you'd like to extend the spine, get a little bit more of an arch in there, you can bring your feet to your head. Or again, just take one of the earlier variations, whatever's working for you today. Any of these poses is really just going to help with the shoulder girdle, making sure that you're staying strong in the shoulders, building that posterior chain endurance so you can paddle farther, so you can be more efficient in the water. And exhale, come back down, stay in child's pose now. Just a couple more minutes here to cool down. And we'll do that with some forward folds. So feet out in front if you'd like to take Pashio Tanasana. Feet are straight out in front. On an inhale, Reach the chest up and exhale, fold over your legs. If you can only reach the shins, that's fine. If you could reach the fin or the feet, go for it. Just fold over those legs. On an inhale, reach the torso up. If you'd like to do butterfly here, you can bring the soles of the feet together. And you can stay here, just letting the knees fall to the ground, or you can inhale, reach the chest forward and up, and exhale over your feet. Just go as far as it's comfortable here today. Stretching the inner groins, getting a nice round in the back as well. Soft rounding. And on an inhale, come up, lay down on the back, hug the knees into the chest. We'll do a quick supine twist here. So let the knees fall over to the right as the chest opens out to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Inhale, bring the legs up and fall over to the left side as the chest opens out to the right. Inhale, come back to center. Hug the knees in, rock around. You can rock forwards and backwards or side to side, just kind of loosening up the lower back. Take a big inhale here, squeeze everything into the center. And then exhale everything to the ground, Shavasana, hands and feet out wide. Just relax here. Let the breath go. No more evenness in the breath. Just breathe naturally. Try to find some silence and some stillness of mind and body for the next minute or two. We will close the practice here after Shavasana. So enjoy this for now. I just want to leave you with this. The surfer who catches the most waves is not the strongest surfer. It's the one whose paddling falls apart the slowest. So what we've done today, building that alignment, building the exterior extension through the spine, the endurance through the spine, is really going to help us catch more waves. And when we're ready, come up to seated. We will just sit here for a second as we come out of Shavasana. So make your way out, come to a seated position, and we'll close the class with one Om. If you'd like to join, you can join me now. If you'd like to just stay here or stay in Shavasana, you can also do that. If you're with me on an inhale, hands come to prayer at center of chest. Om. Thank you, yogis. Thank you, surfers. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. You can DM me, leave a comment, whatever it is. We'd love to hear from you and hope to see you next week. Thanks for coming.